Deku fam.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
We're back, baby, with another video. We're back
again.
Obviously, over the last few weeks, you've seen like baby Deku's coming, the announcement video.
Yeah, our reaction.
Yes.
Our family and friends reaction.
Yeah. The number one question that we've been getting is, why did you wait so long? Why? Or finally. It's like the expected next step. And it just took us so long to get here because it was 5 years.
Yeah.
Like we just
and it was an
5 years.
intentional 5 years.
Yeah, it was.
We actually made the decision when we got together and we got married that we're actually gonna wait. I always used to joke with Anna, I said to her, when you're 30, you're probably going to have a bump and you're going to be rolling into your 30s. Like, this was actually intentional. We wanted to wait 5 years. We gave ourselves a 5-year goal before we had baby Deku.
And you know we're all about intentionality, and obviously baby Deku's coming through with intentionality as well.
Come on.
But we wanted to talk to you about the details on why we waited 5 years. Because obviously in society, in our culture in particular, waiting 5 years is like, oh my gosh, something must be wrong.
Exactly.
You know, all of these types of questions, pressure from family and things like that. But obviously, you know us Dekus, we don't give in to none of that. We have our plan, we have our goals. Obviously, God can change them and do what he needs to do, but we try to move with intentionality. So we thought we'd do a dedicated video just talking to you about the 3 reasons why we waited 5 years to have baby Deku.
That's right.
And hopefully you can learn something from it, take advice from it.
But with a small caveat, there's a huge privilege. One of the biggest privilege that we had was the fact that we got married young. Anna was 24, I was 25 when we got married. So we had time. So that was the biggest advantage that we had. So this video would not be applicable to everyone.
So the first
it's back.
If you not missed it.
Mate, my ears.
The first reason we waited, well, it's not the first reason, but one of the reasons we waited 5 years to have baby Deku is because we wanted to build a strong foundation in our marriage. Oh my gosh.
The thing we were asking ourselves is, are we okay? And if we bring a child into our marriage, is it going to be safe?
It's true.
So, because we were really thinking about the emotional and psychological health of the child, and through all the books that we've read about just parenting, they always say like the environment determines how the child is going to end up. And plus, we're also aware that when we watch movies, maybe it's just in the movies, I don't know, every time someone is going through something, the psychologist always goes, what was your childhood like? And we didn't want to be the reasons why our children screw up. So we were asking the question, how are we?
Because if you look back, I think in our first year, for example, just the disagreements, the misalignment, I wasn't really on the vision. Like, we used to bicker a lot, and it came from a deep place of, I don't know, insecurity in the marriage because we hadn't been doing it for long. So if we look at now, like, we can have disagreements and just laugh it off, or they don't last as long, or we're not shouting at each other as much as we were. So imagine us having a child in that first year and then being in that environment. Like, there could have been deep rooted issues, and maybe we're overthinking it, but for us, we look back now and we're like, we've got that solid foundation.
And we took the time to get to know ourselves individually within our marriage and also collectively within the marriage, and actually try to build a foundation of love where our love is seen tangibly and practically, not just a theoretical I love you, but there's no kind of demonstration of that love, because we want the child to come in knowing what love is. We want them to see it in us. You know, when children are like searching for love outside of their household because they've never seen it, like me, for example, growing up in a single parent household and not really knowing the purpose of a man because my mum did everything, and you know, I don't know, I really admire the fact that our children will be able to see how Gabes serves me in the household, and likewise how Anna serves me in the household. So I think for us, we didn't even know what service was when we first got together. It was really just like probably outward acts just to feel like we were serving, but now I think there's a real servant-heartedness in us, and even the way that we forgive each other, like how we can forgive each other quickly. Just all of those foundations were built on those first 5 years, and it feels like now's the right time for baby Deku to come and join that environment. Because we don't want them growing up with these warped ideologies like men are trash. We want them to be able to appreciate the opposite sex, and love the opposite sex, just to be able to say, okay, like, no, men are not trash. There might be some people who are not good. Women are not trash, etc. So through them seeing us, they'll be able to appreciate the opposite sex as well.
Yeah, 100%. Another reason we waited 5 years to have baby Deku is because we wanted to establish ourselves.
Yes. And by establish ourselves, we're actually talking about our careers and our finances. See, in our 20s, I feel like we were really just trying to work it out. We were trying to understand what career path we wanted to go on. Our finances, our bank balance was broken. We didn't know whether we'll be able to have a child and be able to look after the child and make them feel secure, etc.
Because we met at university. Like, we were literally fresh out of uni. We literally just stepped into like this whole corporate world, and we were insecure about, you know,
making so many mistakes in our careers, insecure, not knowing what we're doing. And I think now we're starting to be like, okay, we've been in our careers for about 7-8 years. We know what we're doing. We know our talents. We know our gifting. We know our craft. And we can see where we're going.
So we're actually on the path that we think we'll stay in for a long period of time. So Gabriel's a compliance manager. I work in software sales, and we're both in the careers that we think we'll be in for a long time. And we're now becoming like specialists in our field. We're not like panicking over, you know, do we know what we're doing? All of that, those types of questions. So I don't know, it just gives you a sort of firm foundation to not have to think, oh, we're going to change career paths in a short space of time.
So now we have a child, it's like kind of one less thing to think about. So it's basically just more of the same to get to where we need to get to, rather than trying to establish what our career path is, where we're going, etc. whilst having a child. So it's basically more of the same, and we feel more comfortable in our careers to be able to bring a child. And also financially, we actually feel like we're in a decent financial state to be able to bring a child and feel secure, and we know where potentially our finances could be in the next 3 to 5 and 10 years if we continue on this path.
I think in our early years, especially the last 5 years, we've taken a lot of risks because it was just us two and there was no child to think about. We really took time to get to know ourselves. Like, is this the right career for you? If not, then let's start.
Is this the right job, etc. So we've tried a lot of things, we've taken risks, etc.
We've known what was right, what was wrong, what did we like about that. Every single role we've been like, okay, what have we liked, what have we not liked about this role? How do we navigate and move into the right role next? And those are the types of conversations that we'll be having behind the scenes, all because we know that we want to establish ourselves early. We didn't want to be in our 30s, 40s, 50s trying to work stuff out. And that's not to say that things won't change then. Like, we know that things could change, our desires may change, but right now we do feel like, okay, we have done all of that up and down, and we're really in a place where it's now more of the same, as Gabe said. And now it's like, okay, baby Deku, come into the world.
We're ready for you.
We're ready for you, baby. We can like give you the attention that you need without having to feel like our attention's maybe divided because we're trying to find ourselves in our careers as well. And Mr. Moneyman over here, in terms of finances, he's always thinking about finances and always thinking about
I just don't want to look my child in the face and say, sorry, I can't afford bread. Like, I just can't do that. God willing that, we just keep saving, put money away, just so that we'll be able to give a roof to our child.
And he's been really good at that and thinking about, okay, how can we make sure like we're okay when baby comes and we can give them the life that we want to give them and all of that type of stuff. So the last 5 years, as you know, we've done loads of money videos and that type of stuff, how we divide our finances. And baby Deku is something we've been thinking about, praying about, saving for, and being intentional about. And the last and final reason why we waited 5 years to have baby Deku, probably the most important reason actually, is because we wanted to raise baby Deku within a tribe, like a tribe, a community, a family, and we had to position ourselves so that we could do that.
Exactly, because what we've seen just through, I guess, the Western world, basically we fell into the Western trap, which is you leave your parents' home, you go to a distant land,
far away,
and you just focus on your immediate family and your career, and you basically disconnect with everyone. And we kind of fell into that trap. Our parents live in like East London, North London. We moved to South London so that we're closer to our job, and we were just working, doing our job. We barely saw our family.
Half an hour away from the city.
Probably about 45 minutes, an hour with traffic from our family. And our families never really came to see us because our parents didn't like commuting so far. So we would always have to go and get them. And because of the effort of having to get them, we didn't really see them. So we were thinking, if we're bringing a child into this world, is that what we want our child, the environment our child to be in? No, we want them to see their grandparents. We want them to see their aunties and uncles. So we've made a conscious decision to actually move back to North.
Yeah, because where we were in South East London, like the people in the area were work focused. Like everyone was work focused. You pretty much didn't even know your neighbours. The nursery, people were putting their child in there from like 2 months.
Literally from
birth, they're in the nursery. Families are like international or somewhere far away. And we just looked around and we're like, is this what we want for our life? And obviously that's not us. Like we're very family orientated. So we thought about, okay, if this is what we want, how do we get to that point? And that took us 5 years to really, we probably identified it in year 2. And it took us 3 years to actually get to that point where we materialized it.
Exactly.
So now we are back close to family. Gabriel's mum is like 15 minutes down the road. My mum, who used to live in Leicester, we've moved her to London. We saved up, we helped her, and now she's in London. 15
and just a real
away.
practical step, just like the extent to which we wanted this, we actually put our money where our mouth is and said, okay, Anna's mom is in Leicester. There's no way we want her 2 hours away in Leicester. So let's transition her back. And the way that we were able to do that was to actually pay off her mortgage. We actually have to partake with money and say, here mom, pay off your mortgage so you're mortgage free, so you can rent out your house in Leicester and move back to London. We were really intentional about it, and that's something that we said, look, we're dedicating ourselves to, and that's what motivated us to work even harder, because we want our child to be in a community of family who have the same values as you, who have the same beliefs as you. We don't want our child having to step far and wide to find their identity or to find joy or find happiness. Like we want our child to actually be in an environment where they feel like, oh my gosh, I don't really need much more, and feel actually a bit disconnected from the outside world. And we really just like that old African proverb, like it takes a community to raise a child. We're gonna do the best job, but there's some wisdom in the previous generation that they've established, and we really want our children to understand our culture. So me being Ghanaian and Anna being Tanzanian, like I really feel like our parents are gonna be able to help them understand where they came from. So we really just value this kind of tribe mentality of the community raising your children, whereas like, as well as us, we're not that we're going to outsource, just to make that clear.
We're still going to be out here. We're making us at the moment in Greece, and we'll be like, okay, mum, you've got baby for
there'll be small bits of that.
A lot. It's actually for ourselves. We just want the freedom still.
I know what's the freedom. But yeah, there'll be bits of that. But really, we just want our parents just to be able to come in on a Sunday, have Sunday dinner, and just seeing that multi-generational living.
If you look at the Asian culture, like sometimes they have multi-generations living in one house. They see the benefits of that. And if we could, we actually would love that, like our parents in the same household. But 15 minutes is fine. We can handle that. They come, they pop over, they've got keys to our house. They're so excited to see their grandchildren. They're able to feel kicks pretty much weekly. It's just a fantastic environment, and that's how we want to raise our child.
And it's bringing us closer together.
So that's really the main reason why we waited longer, because we couldn't bear not being around our family and our child not having the community and the love and support.
We need to level up our finances, understand our careers, and also just build a strong foundation. And I think because of all that, and again with the premise of we were young when we got married, so we had time to our advantage where we could do these things. So so that's really the reason why we waited, and we're quite happy.
We feel so at peace with like the timing that baby Deku is coming, and we're just really grateful. We know it's a privilege, we know it's an honor to actually bring life and to be parents, and we pray that we'll be amazing parents for baby Deku. We trust in the Lord, and we're about to do this, baby.
We're gonna fail 1,000 times, but literally, hopefully the grace of the Lord will help them on the path that they will continue on.
We love you, and we'll see you in our next video, guys. Bye.
Peace.
Baby Deku.